Today's lesson is going to be about arpeggios for bass. We're going to start really simple, like very simple. I'll just show you some shapes to get under your fingers, and then we will get slightly more complex as we go along. If you make it till the end, I'll show you some tips and tricks that I have figured out along the way. So let's start with the major arpeggio. Now for me, I find that if you start with your middle finger for this major arpeggio, there's two ways to do it. There's like an ascending way and then a descending way, which is in pitch, like one that gets higher in pitch and one that gets lower in pitch. To get higher in pitch, I start with my middle finger on the root note. Let's go to the 8th fret of the E string. And then the pattern is going to be 8th fret of the E string, and then you're going to go up, which is this way, closer to the floor. You're going up in pitch. So 8th fret of the E string, 7th fret of the A string, 10th fret of the A string, all right? Now, when you play in 4/4, we're gonna need another note. We will get to that in a minute. Now, if you're playing the one that goes down, this is the shape that I would do. Again, we're gonna play in C, but this time we're gonna go, we'll go to the 3rd fret of the A string, and then your major third below is going to be an E. So you can play an open E. But like if we played up here, let's say we played it way up here for whatever, I don't know why you would be here, but I'm using this to show you an example. You would go pinky down on the root note, and then you're still doing one finger per fret. So you'll go pinky down, and then you'll go down a string. So you're starting on the A string, you'll end up, the next note is on the E, and it'll be your first finger. And then you go pinky on the E string again. So let me see if I can get these guys out of the way. I can't do it. And that's all pinky and first finger. Now, the minor chords, minor arpeggios, are going to be first finger and pinky on the same string, and then third finger on the string up in pitch. So we'll go to A, we'll do an A minor, 5th fret, E string. So first finger, and then you go pinky, so it's 5, 8, and then you go up a string and 7. Right? Now the descending pattern of that would be 7th fret of the D string, 8th fret of the E string, 7th fret of the A string. So if you just wanted to learn the shapes, that should get you going in the right direction. If you want to learn the concepts and how to use those, stick around. So I'm going to put up here a chord progression. This is a 2-5-1. It's a very common chord progression in lots of styles of music. Now, how we would do this is we'll start in D minor, which is going to be 5th fret of the A string, and then 8th fret of the A string, and then 7th fret of the D string, right? And that will only give us 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll need one more note to finish the 4/4 like time signature. So we're going to get into what is called leading tones. What a leading tone is it kind of guides you to the next chord. So typically you want it to be fairly close to that chord. Our next chord, because we're playing a 2-5-1 in C major, is going to be G. It's a G7, G dominant 7th. But we're not going to play 7th chords yet. So it would look like this. It's going to go on the A string, you go 5th fret, 8th fret, and then you go up to the D, and you go 7th fret. So 1, 2, 3, and then you descend 1, and then we're at G if we chromatically walk back like that, right? So, and then here's how I'm going to do this. You can go up in pitch at this point in time if you want to. For me, I have always found it more pleasing to drop down to the major third and then go 1, 3, 5, and then walk back down chromatically, because that's leading tone territory, right? And then you're at C. And then then here you can do whatever you want, but I would go up. Kind of the idea of this is going to be root, third, fifth, leading tone, right? So you can use whatever leading tone you want, but it needs to be moving you to the next chord. So I find personally the notes that are right next to it, either just above in pitch or just below in pitch, like one fret this way or one fret this way, are going to be the best, but it doesn't have to be that. The more you learn about music theory, you can do all kinds of stuff that's going to imply, hey, we're going here. You know what I mean? So just explore with that. But with this 2-5-1, you just do the minor pattern and that chromatic note leading to the G or the 5, because you can move this pattern anywhere. We're just playing in C, so that's why it's D, G, C. If you moved up a whole step, it would be E, A, D, right? It's just a pattern. The 2-5-1 is just a pattern. The arpeggios are just a pattern. So minor, chromatic note, descending major, and then ascending major. And that high note is just an octave of C. So it's still just 1, 3, 5, 1. So hopefully this all makes sense. If you guys have questions, throw them in the comment section. I have a playlist on my Patreon that is $5 a month of all of this stuff and more lessons. We go through the scales and the modes and how to apply them. There's all kinds of stuff in there. Slap techniques. I give lessons for $100 a month through my Patreon. So if you guys want to check that out, that is linked in my bio. I love you all. Be a light in the world. Be the change you want to see. Be a blessing to your community. Until next time, friends. Peace. Still an empty D super 5, yeah.